it's Dorothy Kilty, and I am decorating my Anne with an E altered book today. This is a, excuse me, design team project for Creating with Jovi, and I'm really having fun with these books and these kits. So I'm using some of the black and white drawings from this book, and as many as I can of the beautiful pictures in this book and the beautiful digitals from Creating with Jovi. So I'm using two digitals. One is her Anne with an E digital, and the other one is her Eco Die picture. So you'll see me using both of them. This is an example of how I'm using some of the black and white, blacking out some of the pictures. These can be covered by whoever owns it. And then, of course, the beautiful digitals and things. So this is a tux pocket that I made in here. I love the green. So, and I'm just going to add this little bit of a collage here to get this going. So let's start with, I fussy cut these around the edges and then I inked them. And then I'm just going to lay them here. Okay, this will go over here just a little bit, unless I lift it up and tuck it underneath, which I might do. Let's see if I can tuck this. Nope, I don't like it that way. We'll do it that way. And then the A. Now, the pages in this book are pretty thick, and so I have kind of tried to keep my decorations fairly flat. Now, this is just the simplest possible decoration. It's one of the journal pages, and I just fold it in thirds. I stamped on the back of it, but you can still journal on it, and it looks very pretty sticking out here, okay? I'm probably going to come back and do something with this, but I'm just going to want to go on and show you. So I've decorated this page. We've got two pockets here, so I'll need to be putting things in here. This is the flip out that I showed you before. Here we have, this is just a pair of vintage stationery, and I thought that it looked very pretty tucked into this pocket, and of course journaling space over here. Now this is set up to do a belly band. I took one of the book pages and rough tore this and then inked it. I like the look of the edges, so I'm just going to put some glue to make a belly band across the top of here. As you can see by the inking, I kind of changed my mind about which side I was going to put up after I put some glue on the back of this. Now we'll put this right down here. Should fit perfectly because this is a page right from this book, so that should be perfect. Just clip this down for a second while and then I have a couple of things here. This was an actual, meant to be a journaling card, I think, but I thought it would look pretty just right on here. So let's glue that there. So as I've said, I'm trying to keep this, kind of flatter, more flat than usual. I can see Anne with her tea in a book, just like I've done all my life, with my coffee or my tea, or my food for that matter. Okay, I'll leave these clips in for just a minute. Here I took the map of Prince Edward Island from the black and white book, and I glued it over here So you've got the map, but you can also journal around this. And this is now, you can journal up here. And we've got a pocket here. So I just took some of the edge pages and glued the strips on here. You can write on this. And sometimes when you're journaling, it's fun to do kind of different shapes. And so this is one of my favorite techniques when I want flat things on books. What I've done here is I've put pieces of tape across here, and then I take, let me clip this open, make it a little bit easier on me. I take the distressed ink and I run it over here. So you're gonna probably be able to see the tape coming off, or see where it is a little better. You want to make sure that this tape is down really good, because what we're going to do is tear this off to make lines for journaling on it. And as you can see, when I put the tape on, I took this and doubled it under on the edges, so I have like handles. If you start to pull this off and the paper isn't coming off, then just put it down harder, okay? Now these also can be used, these are fun to use in collaging, adding to clusters or collages on the page. So you shouldn't do this on paper that's too thin. It doesn't work. And I actually prefer to have spaces between it, so it makes kind of lines. But this one is really coming off in bigger strips. Here's the edge of the tape, bigger strips, which is kind of different. But that's okay, because it still makes journaling space on this page, and yet you can still see it's a book. Okay, so here we have, I thought I'd put a couple of pockets on this page, just using these. This is pages from this book here that were kind of blank and that are kind of trimmed. And so just really simple to glue these down. Now this one I've folded over to reinforce the edge. So I'm just going to put glue right along here. And then I'm going to take this and cut out a circle. Now I'm going to do something, instead of worrying about trying to line it up, although I could do them both at the same time and it would line up. I'm going to offset the two little divots to make it easier thing. So this one is up here. This one will be over on this side. Well, it's too bad I can't fold straight, isn't it? Okay. Like that, and like that. I'm going to make this divot a little bit deeper, more like the other one. Okay, and then run it along here. Now you also could collage on these pockets, and that would make it, so if you did that, then you wouldn't have to use a white space. I'm making it a little bit of journaling space on here by doing this. So now we're just going to run this. And again, now there's a trick to pockets, and I'll show you in just a second. If you want to keep your pockets flat like this, it doesn't hold as much when you do this. But by just gluing straight around the edges and not folding under, it makes a more, a flatter pocket. So that helps keep the pages in the book flatter too. Okay, like that. And then we'll come back and put some journaling cards in here. You also can take and put a little something along the edge. So this is some of the ribbon I've been using in this. Book. So I have it here. So just a little bit of this along the edge here. We keep the divot. And cover up those words. And I like that. Make sure I don't get it upside down. Okay, and then for consistency, I'll add a little bit here. Still haven't decided what to do for the front of this journal. Like I said before, I like this book. I think it's really pretty. So I want to do something on the front, but I don't want to cover up everything. When I have like fresh glue and I want to move on and not wait, then I just put a piece of wax paper here to keep it together. Okay, now this was the page. I went ahead and added the flowers around the edge of here, and I also reinforced the inside of this down here. And on this card, this is light enough for journaling, I believe. But the way that I got this tab on the top, I buy a lot of things from Who Gives a Scrap here in Colorado Springs. And these labels, these are made for file folders, for those green file folders. But I thought it was so cool. They were so cool. So I just printed these eco-dyed paper on them. And then you can tear it off and put it here. And let me... If I didn't like the way this looked, that I could just put a piece of lace or something across here, I'm fine with it. I might need to straighten up the bottom of this tag instead of having it zigzagged. But see, this way, you know, you have something fun in the pocket, and then also it's decorated inside when you go. Again, some of these, this is 2 pockets here. Again, they're the flat ones. Let me just come over here and show you this back pocket. This is what I was talking about. I glued this edge down, but I've also folded these in. I think instead of making this a pocket, I'm gonna make it a tuck. So I'm gonna reinforce this edge here too. But now with these folded in and just gluing this and this, it gives it a little bit more room to hold things. You know, it's not a huge amount, but it's enough to be helpful when you're putting things in the pocket. And I like to have fairly large pockets in the front and the back of my journal. So I'm going to glue it here and here so that it's a tuck spot, so that that'll also make it easier to get things in. And then the other thing is that the side goes down first and then this goes over it. And that's because that makes kind of a slide to put things down in, and then it doesn't get stuck. If you put this bottom underneath first, sometimes things get stuck a little higher. Doesn't make a huge difference in a pocket that's this big, but with smaller ones, it can make a difference. Now, as you can see, I went ahead and put glue underneath this to hold this tab together. And now this is going to go right in this corner. I used one of the book pages underneath this paper for reinforce it to make it a little thicker. And now once again, I can just clip this to hold it in place while it dries. I'm trying to make my videos shorter and I get carried away, so I've set an alarm today to go off. Okay, let's go back up here and see what else we've got lined up to do. Okay, so now this page, I did the tape technique here with the distressed. If you want to, over on the side here, you can add a little bit more distressing. Now this page, this is the one where this folds down. So you've got journaling here and here. And then it's also a pocket. So what I have this guest check. And guest checks are great. As they have lines on it. Which makes it really easy for journaling. And a real simple little decoration can be all that it takes to make it look really nice. So I'm going over where the dotted tear line is. So that's going to reinforce it and help hold it together. And this could also be a place where a piece of this tape could go, just to add a little bit more interest to this. Okay. Obviously, you know, the tape's been put on paper and it's not going to hold down. So you do have to add some glue to it. We'll just put it sideways a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now we have kind of a cute little decorated tag to go in there. Whoops. We better let that dry before we stick it in there. Okay, we have a pocket here. I will do something to these pages at some point. So here we have the side pocket I made by gluing this page down. You can journal here. This is light enough so you can journal on, and it also opens up for more journaling inside. We could do some stenciling or stamping on that if we wanted to, and I may come back and do that. But now let's just decorate this pocket a little bit. Now this is all food, and I thought it was kind of fun. So I have cut out one side, and not both of them. You know, I am just going to cut these straight across. Except for the pie, which I will finish fussy cutting out. I keep them in strips like that because it helps me keep them together, and so I don't lose them. But it makes my fussy cutting when I start decorating much easier. Now this is fussy cut out, so I think I want to fussy cut at least one more of them. I think I'll fussy cut this one. It kind of mirrors the the round shape on this of the pie. And then these, I'm going to see if my corner rounder is going to cooperate with me. Nope. Let's see. Let's put both of these together, shall we? And try and cut them. It's interesting, I think, the way sometimes it just needs more paper, not less, in order to cut. I'll probably try running them through some tin foil and see if that'll sharpen it up a little more. Come on. Aha. See, I need that one and this one. And I still need this one. Come on, cooperate. Nope. One. Whoops, let's put it right side up, shall we? And I'm just gonna, like, scatter these around. I think I will put, let's see, this, and I'm going to put that on top. So let's start with this one right here. Okay, this one. Now, if I was going to ink all the pages of this book, it would have been smart for me to ink it before I folded them under and glued. And this. Okay, now I've taken some of the pages where the bottom of the page was pretty blank and put that on the back of these journaling cards to make writing space. So that one's done. So this one, again, same thing. I want this to go, you know, close to this edge because that's where the plain edge is. So let's just take this. You can take some fairly thin paper, although I don't use real thin paper when I'm printing unless I'm doing something specific with it. But take this and put it here. I'm making just a little edge around there, okay? And I'll do the same thing. I'll cut it just a little bit of a border. I don't mind some of the words showing. This is an altered book. It's made out of a book, so that works just fine. See if this paper's a little thicker. See if the cutting will work. Ah, look at that. Thank you. Okay, and we'll ink the edges of this. And now the journaling card for these two pockets is done. Now, if I want to ink along the edge of here, all I have to do is put something underneath it. Right, to take the excess glue, and I can still ink the edges. Okay, so there we have those two. This page, this was folded down. I've got another one of the folded over pages. Now in this case, I just stamped and the bottom in 2 places. Okay, just very, very simple. Trimmed this with some more of that ribbon, and I just realized I put it in upside down. And on this is just a card. It's a kind of a vintagey card that I stuck in there to decorate it. Okay, this is a flip out that you can write on. On this one, I took one of those blank pages and I tore it in a circle, added the little heart doily, so that makes this writing page. And then on this one, I took a page from the back of the book and just glued it on. I need to start, when I find these places where they're just not sticking, I need to start fixing them right away. Okay, now this is ready to be a pocket here. I'm gonna fold down this top. Okay, I'm going to glue it. Okay, I'm going to ink it. I'm going to, sorry. I'm going to trim this. I'm going to punch it to the side again. And then I'm going to glue it down and there'll be a pocket on this page. Once again, you can write on this. Oh, it would help if I cut straight. Or glued straight for that matter. Book pages, you can use the edges to help line things up, so when I don't do it, it's kind of silly. Okay, so there we go with that. This one here is the same tape technique, but I've done them vertically here this time. So I'm not going to do them all, but I just want to show this. Come on, stick. Yeah. So there's a double reason for that. One, when you're journaling, a lot of people want to write upside down, but you also can write across these stripes this way. Come on, come on. I actually like it when a little bit of the text shows through like that. So that's it for today. I'll be continuing with this journal and decorating the rest of it. Thanks for watching my channel. Please go to the links below for the Jovi's wonderful kits and the other design team members. Thank you. Dorothy Kilty, Raccoon Alley Creations.